What the business, YouTube, episode 48. My name's Jay Florida, and today's career of discussion is a news reporter. So, what is a news reporter? A news reporter is a journalist who gathers, investigates, and broadcasts or writes about current events for newspapers, magazines, television, radio, or digital media. Now, to give you a piece of history, news reporters have been around for over 400 years, with the earliest recognizable newspapers and mass-printed news appearing in Europe during the early 1600s. However, the concept of a dedicated, professional reporter who actively investigates and writes stories only became a formal occupation in the mid-1800s with the rise of the penny press. Now, a few basic requirements to becoming a news reporter include volunteering at local media or radio stations to build experience, pursuing a degree in journalism or communication, strong writing skills, and familiarity with digital and social media tools. Now, becoming an established news reporter can take you anywhere from 1 to 4 years and cost you anywhere from $30,000 to $120,000 when pursuing degrees in journalism and communication. As far as your range as an entry-level news reporter, you can expect to make $35,000 to $45,000, with a few things affecting how much you take home being market size, reporting types such as web-based versus TV reporter, and company benefits. A day in life as a news reporter can be described as scanning emails, conducting interviews, researching and verifying information, and drafting and editing articles. As far as opportunity, anyone can start a news reporting career with the various mediums that we have in our modern day. For that reason, the news reporter scores green for opportunity. A few examples to take note of in this field include Mitch Carter of 14 News, WFIE, Sheldon Fox of WSVM, and Courtney Allen, also of WSVM. And if you want to see more of this content and better, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Moving on to our fact moment segment of this episode, starting off with fact number 1. The first radio broadcast of a weather forecast occurred in 1921 at the University of Wisconsin. Fact number 2. Thanks for the motorcade, by the way. A short list of countries that heavily censor media include Eritrea, North Korea, South Arabia, Vietnam, Iraq, and Cuba. And fact number 3. More Americans tuned in to watch the O.J. Simpson chase at 95 million viewers versus the Apollo 13 at 40 million viewers. Moving on to our last segment before we head on to the circle of influence, we have health risks and mitigation. Starting off with psychological trauma as a result of covering natural disasters, accidents, and war. Digital threats and harassment from the public. Musculoskeletal disorders as a result of lugging around heavy equipment and editing from cramped, non-ergonomic setups, and exposure to dangerous environments such as chemical spills, extreme weather events, or war zones. As far as mitigation, you can utilize debriefing sessions and pace yourself during graphic coverage. Never enter an unpredictable situation alone. Map out multiple escape routes before entering a crowd. Equip yourself with helmets, stab-resistant vests, or gas masks while covering volatile civil unrest. And scrub your home address, phone number, and family details from public databases to prevent doxing. Now that does it for our primary segment. I'm going to go ahead and give the floor to my co-host for the Circle of Influence. What the business, YouTube? Starting off the circle of influence, we have respect. Is this a career or position that brings me respect and dignity? Now, as a news reporter, you are keeping people up to date with local and global events that may in some way, shape, or form have an effect on them. And for this reason, the news reporter scores green. Moving on, we have growth. Is this a career or position that presents me with the opportunity to grow from a $100,000 earning threshold? For this segment, the news reporter scores green, with sources online citing that the news reporter has the potential to make as much as $300,000 to $500,000 in a single year. Next, we have gore. Is this a career or position that will have me dealing with an abundance of blood, violent action, grotesque imagery, or scenery? For this segment, the news reporter scores yellow. As mentioned before, there are days where you will have to cover natural disasters, civil unrest, or local vehicle collisions. And for our last ideological standpoint, we have moral conflict. Is this a career or position that will have me compromise any of my foreseeable morals? Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, don't kill. And for this segment, the news reporter scores green. Now, moving on to the statistical side of things, we have gender demographics, where men make up 45% of the industry and women make up 55% of the total industry. Next, we have ethnic demographics, where Caucasians account for 67% of the industry, Hispanics account for 12% of the industry, and Asians account for 10% of the entire industry. And for our last segment, we have location demographics, top 10 states, no particular order, starting things off with Georgia, followed by Nevada and Connecticut, and closing things out with California and the District of Columbia. Now that does it for the Circle of Influence. I'm gonna go ahead and give the floor back to Florida. I'm back. Just to summarize the news reporter, it is a highly respectable career position that provides you with an abundance of room to move around from that $100,000 earning threshold. People entrust you with bringing accurate information, whether it be celebrity gossip, political news, or a simple traffic forecast, which constantly puts your reputation at stake. Not to mention, it is also a women's dominated field. So, ladies, make your coin, but overall, everyone be safe when covering dangerous niches in news and beware of public scrutiny and doxing. With that being said, it does look like we have a full episode today. The word of the day is pheromone. Self-help resources on the board. As always, I'll leave it down in the description. And again, if you want to see more of this content and better, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on episode 49.